Hello and welcome to the next episode of the New Earth Architectress podcast. I am excited to dive into the sacred blueprint and the incredible opportunities and magic that's possible when you weave spiritual wisdom with architecture, when you weave spirit and energy and your intuition, your divine feminine, the remembering of who you once were, eons and eons ago. The beauty that you once knew how to build, weaving that in as well to your current architecture practice and the future architecture. The abundance, the magic, the opportunities that are possible that previously you were completely oblivious to, and you perhaps still are. Many of you I know are very much feeling the earth changes right now. You are very much feeling the old structures falling away. You may feel it in your body. You may see it in your relationships, in your environment. You may yes, you may be aware of outdated forms and structures that are no longer serving who you truly are. Because who you truly are is coming more and more and more and more and more and more and more up to the surface. And society, the programming, the old paradigm, whether it's the systems that you've learned in architecture school or practicing in architecture firms or just generally growing up in our world, in society, and maybe in particular cultures, different locations in the world, there are influences that can hold who you truly are, who you truly are, who you truly are, hold her back from rising to the surface. Rising to the surface and sharing her light with the world. These influences can be people who are in your close circle. Could be family members, it could be your partner, it could be colleagues, partners that you work with, or it could be influences coming in more from the tribe, the collective. And the amount of effort and energy that is wasted due to the bumping up against those external forces or influences and the natural rising that is occurring of who you truly are can cause anxiety, panic attacks, depression, chronic illness, irritability, blockage, creative blockage, frustration. And those of you who are really on that edge, and you know, because you're aware, you're spiritually conscious, you're working on yourself. You've got some spiritual tools that you're dabbling in, and maybe some of you who are committed to studying on a deeper level. But when it comes to your architecture practice and working in the quote unquote real world, you're actually blocking that force, that natural force that wants to rise up through you, who is your true you. And when it's blocked, like I shared earlier, your body's going to show it. There will be energetic signs. And so I'm curious, does this resonate with you, first of all? If it does, share in the comments below. Number two, how does that look like? What does that look like in your life right now? And what does it look like in your architecture practice? Like, I remember when I was awakening to the world of spirit and healing and what's possible with healing architecture when you bridge spirit with form. Because I was still on the edge, there was a part of me that would dim down my light and dim down how much I share with people about spiritual architecture. And I'm not saying that every single person or every single moment or every single encounter, you need to lay everything you know down in front of them, and basically maybe even for some people, situations like force, this knowledge onto somebody. But what I'm talking about is I would play it small. And I wouldn't be confident in my seeings. That's what I'm receiving right now. My intuitions, my wisdom that was actually coming from a deep place within. And I think part of the reason I didn't have the confidence, and what would happen is I would just default to putting other people up on a pedestal. Have you done that before? Idolizing other people, even though I wouldn't really use those words. That was something that was going on in my inner world. And so I would, the deep wisdom that was coming in from within, I didn't know how to simply just share it because, well, first I had a fear of being ostracized from the Architects Association. I had a fear that I would be shunned, ridiculed, laughed at, ridiculed. And I had a fear that I wasn't going to be able to explain it and convey it and get it across, right? And maybe even convince people, right? Or prove. Prove was a big one for me. Proving it, proving that the spiritual world exists, proving that angels exist, proving that the nature spirits exist, proving that geomantic phenomenon exists, ley lines, yin and yang energies, vortexes, proving that portals exist. I could just keep on going, right? And I know that the spiritual energetic phenomenon exists. You've experienced it. You know it to be true. But there was this talking head, or voice in my mind that was saying, you need to prove it. You need to have data to prove it. You need the numbers, you need the graphs, you need the measurements, you need the tools. And while I do respect, now reflecting back on that and really taking an honest look at, okay, well, who was that voice? Where does that voice come from? Is it a true voice? Is there some truth to it? Or is it a voice that is a result, a thought form of a paradigm that depends on empirical science or and I'm not saying this is bad, really. I'm not saying this is a bad thing. We really need to have a balance, but just stay with me here. The checklists, the numbers, the graphs, like the proof, right? The physical quote unquote proof, the numbers. And, I was talking about this today in one of my bonus live trainings for the Sacred Blueprint online course for property owners. They get access to a private Telegram group, and I do live trainings each month. And the feminine has been told for centuries, prove it. Have you ever had those moments where you just know, you feel it with every single molecule of your being? You just know. You just know. And then someone comes in and says, well, prove it. How are you going to prove it, right? How are you going to prove something that is such a deep, and I don't want to say personal because it's not. It's actually a deep reading and experience of the spiritual world, of the truth of the spiritual world, whether you are connecting with the wisdom of a tree, whether you are connecting directly with God or Allah, whether you are connecting directly with the nature spirits. Now, there are different qualities to that. I don't want to just replace nature spirits with God. Don't mistake me. There are ways to enter into connections with various spiritual beings in the hierarchies. Okay. But how are you going to explain it? Right. And mystics for thousands of years, the keepers of the mysteries, they actually devised systems where people can enter into a certain practice. Okay, it requires practice to ready the body to be able to merge with angelic beings, higher truths, with their soul wisdom, with the wisdom of the earth, to receive keys and codes for not only their personal growth, but also keys and codes for humanity's highest unfoldment. How are you going to prove it? Now, if you do study if you study things like anthroposophy or spiritual science, there are systems or there are many different kinds of systems where you can, where there's a group of people and they're all doing the same exercise and they do come to the same level conclusion, right? So I guess in a way that is kind of proving a certain level. When I say a certain level or conclusion, a certain spiritual experience, but it's an inward one. And it's not one that can be easily proved in physical form, but it's done through sharing and experiencing, journaling, tracking the progress of inner growth, and then comparing it to your peers, right? Or, sharing it with your teacher, etc. So all I want to say is what I'm trying to get at is I put so much pressure on myself to prove it. I put so much pressure. I even had in the early stages of the Sacred Blueprint, I had breakdowns where I felt like I didn't have enough architectural projects under my belt to prove the rest of the world, especially all the other architects in the world, that the Sacred Blueprint works. Now, I have much more experience now actually leading the Sacred Blueprint system with property owners in various different parts of the world. And it's, the constant there was this constant voice that was telling me, yeah, you're going to need to prove it. I'm just going to repeat the same thing. You're going to need to prove it. And then I would compare myself with other teachers or other people in the field who are doing kind of spiritual, energetic architecture or design, although I haven't really seen anyone who totally is able to weave spiritual energetics from A to Z in their architecture practice. But I would compare myself, and I would compare myself to geomancers who had just like gazillions of information and studies and graphs and data. Again, this is valuable, very valuable. And if that's your vibe, and if that's really something that you feel you are meant to do in this world, to create the scientific evidence of the spirit realms, this is fantastic, because we do need this. But we're always giving our power away, in my opinion, to that side of the left side, right? The left brain. That side of reality, which is the more masculine side. Well, what if we just trusted, based on our feelings and senses and experiences of other people, of our environments, of our inner world, and when you look into somebody's eyes, when you feel the aura around them, and when they speak words, actually, it's not really a matter of what exact words they're speaking, but what's the energy that is emanating behind those words? Is it truth? Does it feel like truth to you? Is there something genuine behind these words? Do you feel a tingle in your body, tingles all over your body? Some people call them truth chills, right? Is it kind of like I know this? Yeah. I mean, I think of some amazing leaders in the indigenous communities, indigenous communities in Canada, for where I grew up in. And I just think, like, and some of them may be bridging, science and spirituality, some leaders in the indigenous communities. But I'm just thinking about more in the past, where you would have leaders in the community, and there was a trust. There was through a deep relational exchange between each other and between the land. And through that deep relational exchange, a portal opened up to receive truth, beauty, goodness from the higher realms, and wisdom from the higher realms that guided them through major decisions in their communities. And they didn't need the data to prove anything. They were merged with the world. They were united with the world. And I don't want to overly romanticize all of that right now. It's like, I'm just giving an example of a way that we were living in the past that we've been severed from now. But we are evolving, and we're in this process of individuation, and we do need to think clearly and speak and explain things. It's not enough to just remain in the mystery. It's not enough to just be in the realm of the mystery of the feminine, right? The void, right? We need to step out and share. I'm just picturing, like that we're all going on a treasure hunt into the void, right? And when we exit the void, that we have all these treasures, and we need to share what we've experienced in the void space. And when I say void, I don't mean void of life or something, but it's more the mystery dark space of the feminine. I'm going to bring up a card right now for you. Yeah, she wants to come through. She came through in one of my, and if you are listening to this podcast episode, hop on over to the YouTube, my YouTube channel, and watch the video so that you can see the card that I've pulled up here. It's an oracle card from the Anubis Oracle deck by Nikki Scully and Linda Starr Wolf. This is I'm trained in Nikki Scully's alchemical energy healing. My teacher is Nicole Baylog from Canada. 2, Nephthys. She is the goddesses of the ancient Egyptian pantheon. She's the high priestess, intuition, mystery. I'm gonna grab the book to read about the high priestess and what her qualities are. It's connected to the void. Okay. Anubis Oracle deck, A Journey into the Shamanic Mysteries of Egypt. The netters helped me a lot to birth the sacred blueprint. We don't work directly with them in the sacred blueprint. I feel, anyway, I won't get into those details too much, but they're very much allies of the sacred blueprint. So Nephthys, number 2, I got to go to the beginning. Nephthys. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Nephthys. The high priestess. Intuition. Mystery. Nephthys is the hidden or veiled one who serves as a medium between the worlds. She comes to us in dreams, flashes of intuition, and visions. Along with Isis and Nekhmet, Mother Mut, Nephthys is an aspect of the triple goddess. She relies upon spirit to direct her in all things, and she holds the mystery teachings of life, death, and rebirth deep within her essence. The mother of Anubis, Nephthys, is also the true virgin, or the woman unto herself, in her manifestation as a high priestess. In our shamanic visionary experience, she inspires the seeker as she whispers her secrets into the wind and dances exotically under the starry sky with magnificent serpents winding around her beautiful bronze arms. Although she is less renowned than her twin sister, Isis, they are seen together on the walls of the temples and at either end of every sarcophagus in ancient Egypt. When Osiris's body was scattered throughout Egypt, it was Nephthys and Anubis who helped Isis find and gather the parts to make him whole again. When Nephthys appears, she is working with your third eye and your sense of intuition, which will guide you further into the mysteries and to that which is hidden in your subconscious mind. She helps you to see in the dark, the void. If you've drawn this card, be especially attentive or watchful for synchronicities. What you may normally think of as a coincidence is actually the universe trying to gain your attention. Pay attention to those hits of inner knowing and guidance. And watch for those outer events or experiences that form synchronistic parallels to the inner messages you are receiving. When you give yourself to the magic of Nephthys, she doesn't stop at opening your mind's eye. She also opens your heart. Allow your entire being to thrive as you begin to see things in a new way. Nephthys, thank you. Thank you for being in our space. Thank you for guiding us, High Priestess. When you see the High Priestess card in the more classic tarot cards, I mean, the High Priestess is an evolution of Nephthys and many other goddesses prior. And she is part of this triple, one of the members of the triple goddess. Does that resonate with you? What came through as I read the wisdom of Nephthys? She doesn't require to relay or communicate data. The experience that you have with Nephthys is indivisible, unfragmentable, in some ways unanalyzable. I know that's probably not a word, but who cares? You can't break it up into parts. She was the key to actually bringing Osiris's parts back together again. The lost human being back together again. And without her, the sacred blueprints of our new earth cannot be birthed. I don't care how much you know about the spiritual world. I don't care how much you know about geomantic phenomenon. I don't care how much you know about dowsing or measuring frequencies. Of course, I respect this knowledge and I respect you for studying as I do study these things. But where does it end? And I'm here, my tool, my purpose, and the tools that I want to impart and share with you are from a place, a source, deep, deep, deep within the womb of Mother Gaia, the inner earth, which is directly connected to the cosmos. And from that place, when you know how to access that place, you will receive not only incredible blueprints for your projects, for temples that you want to birth, for gardens and homes and sanctuaries, but you'll also receive the most laser precise wisdom and knowing and feeling and being and experiencing all at once. It's very challenging for me to explain. I hope you can feel the energy behind what I am wanting to share with you today. The proving has exhausted us. The overdoing has exhausted us. The overreaching, the over accommodation, the contortion, the over contortion, the over pleasing, the over designing. Women have sometimes needed to prove themselves to liberate themselves, to be free, and to show men that they can accomplish just as much as they can. But, and this is a conversation that some brilliant minds in the spiritual and architecture worlds, there are a few women who are actually saying that, yeah, but we compromised our femininity. And I'm one of those women. We compromised our health. We compromised our centeredness, our anchoredness. We compromised our joy, and we depleted ourselves. Now, every woman has a different level of energy, a different task, a different purpose. We are not all cookie cutter, right? We're not all looking like suburban North American copy-paste houses, right? Each and every one of us are individuals on a different path. But there's a consensus, and it's a whispered consensus amongst the souls who feel that the divine feminine is rising now, who feel and know. And her wisdom is not about the hustle. It's not about competition. It's not about, your main goal have to be your architecture projects to be in magazines, while I so want all of you to be in the magazines, because we need spiritual women architects to be at the forefront of architecture. But what I'm talking about is more the lower ego, right? Which has driven the architecture world for so long. Oh my God, how many egomaniac architects have I worked for in my life? So many. Can you relate? Your mission is to heal this planet. Your mission is to bring truth, beauty, wisdom, beauty to this planet through forms that awaken and heal and help us remember who we are, who we really are, and help us remember our deep connection with nature, and that we are one and the same thing, one and same thing with the entire cosmos, with the entire universe. Human beings are a microcosm of the macrocosm, and our architecture should be an expression of that. It doesn't mean that every single project you design needs to be like this golden temple. Every project, every scale, every type of function requires certain forms that really support the purpose of that space and place. So thank you for Nephthys coming through. I wouldn't have been able to birth the sacred blueprint without my guides. And in fact, they gave me a big kick in the butt to quit my job in conventional architecture to pave a new way. And I am forever grateful that I listened to my feminine, which is the inner realms, the nudges from spirit. And I took the bold leap. I was terrified. because my family was depending on my, I was contributing to the income of our family. And I was really scared. But I just kept getting sicker and sicker, to be honest. And that's when the downloads really started to come through. By the way, if you're sick, it doesn't mean it's a bad thing, or if you're suffering from anxiety, it's a sign that you are coming back to what I originally talked about. There's a battle going on between the external impulses that are trying to block the true you from rising. And I'm not saying that that's the reason for every single sickness you have. Okay. I don't want to make broad sweeping statements, but the repetitive chronic illness, the incessant chronic illness that I experienced was a direct manifestation of that truth. And I'm glad I listened, because now the sacred blueprint is birthed. Now I am starting the first cohort, leading the first cohort of the Sacred Blueprint certification program for women architects. We begin June 22nd. It's a 12-month program. We have such a beautiful, intimate group from different corners of the world of women architects who are devoted and committed to bridge spirit with form in their architecture practice and take it to the next level and attract divine match clients, overflows of abundance, and radiance and joy and free time. Women, oh my God, free time. Architects barely have any free time. Most of them, right? In the conventional world. Free time to travel and enjoy and treat yourself to beautiful things and massages, days at the spa. That's like one of my favorite things to do now. We begin June 22nd. It's a 12-month container, and we still have a couple spots left. And if you feel the call, if you are tingling and resonating, you can feel the tingles in your body, and you are ready to ditch the depletion and step into the ancient temple builder of the future you are, all the application details are below. There's a sign up link where you can download, or rather access, a page that will guide you through all the program outline as well as the application steps. I have 2 walkthrough videos that you're going to get access to, and the program is going to be explained there. And reach out to me, send me a message. There's only like a week left. And we're going to build beauty together. This is beyond certification, by the way. This is a call from Mother Earth. This is a movement that we're building together. It's time to stop being the lone wolf, stop being the martyr, and co-create in community, in sacred circle with other women. And women architects, and you will also receive, of course, unparalleled spiritual energetic tools that will support you to easily guide property owners and land stewards through the Sacred Blueprint system. And yes, there are plenty of people on this planet who are longing for an architect who can bridge spirit with form. You do not need to convince everybody. You do not need to take on jobs that suck your life force. You do not need to work with clients just because they pay you. No, I will teach you and guide you and give you the tools on how to actually attract the clients into this very sacred container. And I'm also going to teach you how you can bring so much more ease and flow into your personal design practice, so that you stop wasting like hours and hours, months, money, time, energy designing like 5,000 different project layouts for one site. No, we are going to streamline. I'm just now seeing her right now. She's streamlined. She means business, even though she's soft and mysterious, but she has the embodiment. She's embodied through the gesture of her arms. And she knows exactly what to do and how to be in order to receive the information. She's an oracle. And it's time to bring the energy of the oracle back in the architecture practice. We love to use the archetype of the priestess architect, if that resonates with you. The healer architect. Maybe you have a word that you want to share that you resonate with, that bridges those two worlds, bridges the masculine and the feminine. I know some of you may say, well, architect is, it can be feminine too. It can be. But for me, the architect archetype is more the masculine. It's more the structure. It's more the builder. You could say it's the builder, right? A builder. And the feminine, she blows, she whispers, she blows the secrets and the beauty. She sprinkles the fairy dust into those structures. And together, the most stunning architecture gets birthed and bloomed. The sacred blueprint is very much a marriage between the masculine and the feminine, very much a marriage between the four elements and also the fifth mystery element. And I call it the mystery. I mean, of course, it's Akasha or ether, but it's kind of a mystery of how it unfolds in the sacred blueprint process for each and every client that I serve. It's a bridge between East and West. It's a bridge between above and below. And it requires an embodiment, which I feel is a big missing piece, not only in conventional architecture, but also in spiritual architecture out there, or energetic architecture, or biophilic architecture, or biomimic architecture, neuro architecture. Take or leave what I have to say. I'm always open to you challenging my thoughts, my ideas, my perspectives. But there's just so much effort put into trying to prove things, the studies of it. Let's do it. Let's be it. Let's walk it together. Let's practice it. Let's honor it. And allow for the mystery to guide us, show us, usher us. Requires letting go of our ego, requires letting go of control, requires letting go of knowing. And so I'm sharing things that are much deeper. And it's okay. Wait, let me rephrase that. That didn't sound good. I'm a deep woman, and I attract deep clients. And I attract clients who are interested in the deep. And I know for some of you who are on the edge and you feel your intuitive gifts growing, emerging from within you, some of what I'm saying may feel a bit like too much, maybe, or maybe a bit overwhelming. But You may be bumping up against a part of you that's like, well, how am I going to talk about how she talks in my office, my architecture office, or with this client or with that client? What I'm telling you is I want you to take yourself out of your physical body for a moment. Just do some breathing and just use the capacity to imagine. You have that capacity. Architects have the capacity to vision spaces before they are conceived. This is a gift that you have. And just take a look at your situation right now. Take an inventory of the challenges that you're experiencing in your life. Physical, personal, relational, career, business. Let's take an overview consciousness. Make a map. Why don't you do a map of it? You could take a moment to observe your life situation, where you're at in your career, where you're at in your architecture practice, where you're at in your spiritual growth and spiritual studies. And what I'm getting right now is what I want you to do is I want you to notice where there's an element in your life that is stagnant. Or perhaps it's kind of setting off alarms, flashing lights. But the sign will come. What elements in your life, as you're doing this overview conscious of your life situation right now, what are the blocks in your life that are holding you back from rising into the true ancient temple builder of the future you are? And notice how you've been operating in maybe it's the corporate world, the outside world, right? Compared to, and does it match? Does it match? Is it a pure union between who you truly are? Or are you contorting yourself to fit in? Are you overdoing it? Are you trying to prove? Are you overreaching? Are you, yeah. So I feel, this is the time to close. I think I started this recording intending it to be 20 minutes long, but I think we're well over right now. So I want to share that I'm thrilled that the Sacred Blueprint Certification Program is beginning next week. And again, if you feel the call, if you hear the call, the deep call, and long to build the temples of our future in collaboration, in co-creation with kindred souls, women architects who are hearing the call too. And you may be feeling really lonely. A lot of the women architects who come to me feel so alone, and they need the community to support them so that they can be the beacons of light in their communities. They can be the pioneers, they can be the leaders, but leaders also need other leaders to support them. We can't do it alone. We can't, because one of the challenges that I have experienced this year is to be unwavering in my mission. And the Sacred Blueprint and all the gems and the keys and the codes and the guides, the allies, the spirit allies of the Sacred Blueprint help me to stay on track. Even when I go through my dips and my falls and I want to give up, all I need to do is step into the energetic of the Sacred Blueprint and connect back with my spirit guides, and I'm shown the way. And together, when we co-create together, it's going to magnify, multiply, quadruplify and we're going to have so much fun. So I'm a systems woman. I'm a structure woman. I have very, very high standards, and all my programs are very high caliber, very deep, in-depth, comprehensive, and we're going to have tons of fun. We will have a graduation ceremony next year in May, a 5-day trip and ceremony and retreat at the ancient city of Ephesus and in Turkey. And I've been leading women architects for many years now on incredible retreats where they uncover their intuitive gifts, their soul's purpose, their mission, and they tap the sacred architecture and discover what it's like to experience one of the biggest power places in the world, and how the energies are actually flowing through the sites there, and how the ancient architecture is an expression of the most divine healing architecture. And we have so much, I keep on saying we have so much fun. There's a pool, you can get a massage there, you will eat delicious Mediterranean food, and so much more. So if you're feeling the call, I want you to apply. I want you to apply and join our incredible container. All right. So all the information is down below, and apply ASAP. Watch those 2 videos that you're going to get access to once you sign up. Watch the 2 videos. It's going to give you an overview. It'll answer probably a lot of questions you have in your head, and get your application in. And I look forward to having you in the group. All right. Until next time. Bye-bye. It's time to rise and unite your 2 sides. The determined, go-getter, high-achieving architect with the wild, nature-loving energy healer. You're fed up with the grind and stress of conventional practice and are ready to come out of hiding and unleash your feminine magic to birth the temples of our future by partnering with the spirit of the land. Hi, I'm Aisha Rose. I'm an architect on a bold mission to help humanity awaken and heal by bridging spirit with form. After over 20 years of leading a distinguished career in architecture and successfully working with land energetics, I birthed the Sacred Blueprint, a revolutionary, unconventional approach helping you to design the optimal blueprint for your clients' dream sanctuaries while opening the way for smooth project planning. Now I'm thrilled to share my unparalleled expertise and cutting-edge tools with you so you lead a prospering, spirit-led architecture practice while attracting overflows of abundance, radiant health, creative ease, and divine match clients while making a powerful impact on Earth. Introducing the Sacred Blueprint Certification Program, a proven spiritual energetic property design system that will outlast AI and equip you with all you need to know to leverage your intuitive gifts with architecture. Nothing like this exists out there. The Sacred Blueprint is a call from Mother Earth. This is the next evolutionary pulse and a groundbreaking movement for high-achieving, spirit-conscious women architects that will put you miles ahead as a leader and help heal the planet. Apply now.